NFL free agency is upon us, and the Minnesota Vikings have a handful of decisions to make between guys that are like, hey, come on back, or no, be gone. But it's important to make the distinctions between unrestricted free agent and restricted free agent. Now, there's also exclusive rights free agent, but that's basically like, here's how much you make. We'll see you in camp. And that means Kyle Hinton and Chris Jones, they'll be back, right? But the Vikings have 3 restricted free agents this year in wide receiver Chad Beebe, running back special teamer Mike Boone, and edge rusher Ifeadi Odenigbo. So UDFA players who make the roster are given 3-year contracts versus the 4-year deals that non-first-round draft picks are given. Now, instead of a 4th year, those UDFAs are given a restricted free agent year. It gives them a chance to catch up and send the money they missed out on being a UDFA. Restricted free agents have to be tendered if a team wants to keep them for that 4th season, and they can tender them at the 1st, 2nd, or right of first refusal level. And it's a decent payday. You see that the second-round tender this year is estimated at $3.384 million by friends over at Over the Cap. And now that could fluctuate depending on what happens with the salary cap situation, but not. Now, other teams can still negotiate with the player after they've been tendered and can sign them to an offer sheet. Now, the Vikings would have the chance to match it right of first refusal for all 3 levels, but if they don't, then they get the tender value. So if a team comes in and say the Vikings put the first round tender on Chad Beebe, probably not, but a team gets into the Chad Beebe business and signs him to an offer sheet. The Vikings don't match it, so then they will get a first-round pick in compensation. Same thing with second. Right of first refusal is nothing. You get nothing, but you do get that first chance to say no. So Adam Jerome Ezekiel Thielen was a restricted free agent in 2017 before he signed his extension. He was labeled at the second-round tender, so a team could have signed him to an offer sheet, and if they didn't match, the Vikings would have only gotten a second-round pick. So it can be a little bit dangerous, but also with that right of first refusal, you can let other teams negotiate a long-term extension for you. I mean, Thielen got a long-term deal before that got done. And recent examples, so 2019, Anthony Harris played on the second-round tender. Last year, Eric Wilson played on the second-round tender as well. So the question is, this season, what are the Vikings going to do with Boone, Bibi, and Ifeadi? So Mike Boone, nice running back 3. I really do love me some marvelous Mike Boone. The pride of Cincinnati has a career 5.3 yards per carry plus 4 touchdowns for the Vikings. Phenomenal special teams player as well. Would absolutely love to have him back, but I don't want to pay him too much. So I would put the original round tender on him. Chad Beebe, wide receiver 3. So injuries, still a major concern, plus did have that major muff that didn't end up costing the team against the Panthers. He ended up catching the game-winning touchdown. He's a hero! Woo! But this year, 20 catches, 201 yards, receiving 2 touchdowns on 30 targets. Does come up clutch on third down. 12 of his 20 catches went for first downs. He was a Gary Kubiak favorite. Will he be a Clint Kubiak favorite? That's the question. And finally, our guy, Ifeadi Odenigbo. So, fool's gold or real gold? Had a golden opportunity this year to emerge, but was okay. So he led the team in pressures with 42, put up 3.5 sacks as a full-time starter at edge, and without Daniil, and then without Yannick the freaking Ngakoue throughout most of the season, but did not build on a 7-sack season in 2019. That's when he was rotating from the edge as well as playing inside. Now, I would love him back as a rotational guy, but he's going to have to earn his playing time. Like DJ Wanham is ready to go. I'd love to see more Jordan Brailford, rookies TBD on the edge, Kenny Willekes as well. Let's go. So I would be inclined to keep all 3, but it's going to have to come down to the salary cap, because if you put second round tenders on all 3, which unlikely, but that would be around $10 million in cap space. Now the cap hit for 3 rookie replacements will be just under $2 million, so that does factor in. And even if you put all 3 on the lowest tender, it would still be around $6.5 million. So there's going to be some trade-offs here, because it's not only the big money guys at the top of the pay schedule who are going to get squeezed with the salary cap reduction. It's going to be those mid-level guys as well. So, but I would bring all 3 back on original round tenders or the lowest level, so $2.133 million for each of them, totaling around $6 million. So I would go that route, because I don't think that there is going to be a major market for teams looking to poach Mike Boone or Chad Beebe or Ifeadi Odenigbo, especially with the salary cap situation this year, where there was a danger last year with Eric Wilson. I think that if they would have tendered him at the lowest level, a team would have pounced. Same thing Anthony Harris 2 years ago, and definitely the same thing with Adam Thielen back in 2017. But we'll see what happens. Again, I would like to keep all three of them, but it may come down to dollars and cents, and it might not make sense to tender all three, but we'll see. But your thoughts, Vikings restricted free agents this offseason, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, post on the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.